Do you know how to craft compelling questions that uncover your prospect's pain? Welcome to Fortify, where we help you fortify your business. Now each week we pick a random topic chosen by the Fortify button. So let's see what this week's episode is going to be about. Mastering the economic conversation. So here's the problem. You want more sales with higher prices, but many salespeople just don't know how to craft compelling prospect questions that help qualify the prospect and quantify the value that you really offer. You see, you're going to get less price resistance when you have the economic conversation. Now, I've got news for you. If you're in sales, especially if you're selling high-ticket items, it doesn't matter. They're always going to say the price is too expensive. Take, for example, you call into ProfitRichResults.com to hire me for a keynote. If you called in and you say, what's Ford's speaking fee for a keynote? And my office says, well, it's $15,000 for a keynote. Guess what the next sound we're going to hear? Click, right? We haven't established any value. So when someone asks you a price question, it's really a value question. And you have to have the economic question to create the value and be able to uncover it before you reveal the price. Now, the questions you ask are going to vary depending upon what you specifically offer, but the tactics are still the same. So whether you're new or whether you're a top producer, you know the importance of using open-ended questions. Questions that expand the conversation. They are a lot less threatening and they help get the prospect talking. Now, open-ended questions begin with the following words like why, or how, or what, or describe, or tell me about, or what do you think about? So you might ask questions like, what has worked for you in the past? Or maybe, what have you already tried? And then fill in the blank with, the solution area that you work in. Now, another great tactic I like on open-ended questions are asking on a scale of 1 to 10. I was working with a consulting client the other day, and he was ready to go on a sales call, and he called me for some coaching. And I said, what types of questions are you going to ask? And he did workplace culture training, and I said, what are you going to ask? And he said, well, I'm going to go in and ask the CEO if he has problems with his teams communicating, and if he has problem with turnover. And I said, well, you don't want to ask those types of questions because first of all, it's going to make the CEO sound stupid if he says, yes, I've got a lot of problem because he's leading that team. So if you rephrase that into an open-ended question or in a question that gives them a chance to describe more and use a scale. So I said, go back and ask the question, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being your people are totally communicating and 1 being they're not communicating the way you'd like, where would you see most of the people in your organization? So it gives them an out. It makes the CEO feel more comfortable. It gets the CEO talking and it helps uncover their needs. So the tactic here is maybe you need to ask a question on a scale of 1 to 10 and then ask them a probing question. Another great tip is future casting, where you ask the prospect to describe what the future is going to look like from working together or maybe with your project or using your product and service. And you might ask them, what do you hope to have happened 12 months from now, looking back? So you might ask them to put themselves in a future position and looking back, having working together so that you can create what success looks like, because that's really important when you're selling. You can also ask them questions about the negative side of it. What would happen if you do nothing about the problem? If you don't solve this problem, or you can take what the prospect's giving you and you have that conversation with them, right? To help them uncover what that problem is going to be like if you don't solve it. If you don't solve this particular problem, what's going to happen? What kind of difficulties are you going to face as you move forward? So here's your action step for this week's episode. I want you to pick one of your products or services and think about your prospect and write down at least 10 open-ended probing questions that you can use to help uncover the prospect's needs as it relates to value. That's it for this week's episode of Fortify. Now, I want to know, what is your favorite sales prospecting question? Let me know in the comments below and share this video with anybody who's in sales. Like what you see? Of course you need to subscribe to be notified of upcoming episodes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Fortify, where we help you fortify your business. Are we ready? We're live. This is your chance. You need to look and make sure nothing's bunched, because my jacket on the last time was really bunched. Seriously? See? No one. I don't have a jacket here either.